Hi everyone, quick introduction before we get started. This was an assignment for my Intro to the Art of Film course at university. I figured I would turn it into a video because I had so much fun writing it. It's about the Pixar movie Up and how the colors in that movie represent a bunch of different things. With that out of the way, please enjoy. Pixar's Up is one of the most beautiful movies ever made. It's got a creative concept, fun characters, and fantastic art style. Despite all of this great stuff, the thing most remember is the tragic opening sequence. Because of this, I feel that one of the most important parts of Up has floated under the radar of most viewers. The color palette of Up is an expertly crafted piece of mise-en-scène that enhances the entire film from the emotional beginning, the journey Carl faces, and his personal character growth. The very first thing to appear on screen is a black and white news segment discussing explorers. Black and white is something really uncommon in modern animation, but it's done with purpose. The intentional lack of color and other clues guides the audience into an organic way of knowing the approximate setting. The first signs of color appear as the blue-tinted projector light illuminates our main character, Carl. He is the first thing to be shown in full color, with his sparkling blue eyes eagerly focusing on the newsreel. Then he is shown carrying a blue balloon with a clear blue sky behind him. An observant viewer will notice how at seemingly every turn, Carl is being shown with something blue. Pixar is hard at work creating a motif for Carl in the color blue, one that is extremely important. Similarly, they begin associating another character, Ellie, with the color magenta. During Carl and Ellie's first encounter, she has a magenta bow in her hair. Later at their wedding, they have magenta carpets, stained glass, and flowers. During their montage of married life, magenta is a part of most of Ellie's outfits and the important props. These two colors come into play right at the end of the montage when Ellie is hospitalized. Magenta flowers sit beside Ellie as a blue balloon gently floats into view. Carl is still here for Ellie, even in her darkest hour. The two hold hands as Carl's blue fills the room. Ellie's magenta filters in through the window, mixing together right between the couple staring at each other for the last time. That shot slowly fades, and we see one of the most colorful scenes in the entire movie, Ellie's funeral. Carl depressedly hangs onto his blue balloon, sitting in a sea of magenta flowers, lights, and more. As the scene fades, so too does the color. The once vibrant world Carl lived in is now dull and lifeless. With Ellie's passing, the color has literally and figuratively left Carl's life. He no longer has his best friend and eternal companion, and the film dons a depressing new look to suit. All of this only deepens the emotional pain of Carl's situation, but we are less than 15 minutes in. The movie takes a dramatic shift from here, showing how Carl has adjusted to the death of his wife. Everything is blue and the colors aren't as vibrant or saturated as before. Suddenly, a young boy in a colorful outfit with equally colorful accessories knocks on the door. This is Russell, the first bright and colorful thing in the movie since Ellie's funeral. Russell represents pure and innocent youth, something Carl hasn't related to in a very long time. Carl's world is still very dark and faded, but Russell's outfit is a signal for his importance to the story and his future importance to Carl. Before all of that, however, Carl uses a giant stash of balloons and helium to float his house away. Naturally, the balloons are bright and full of color, symbolizing Carl's departure from his drab life. The balloons have always been an important symbol in the movie, but now their dazzling hues represent the coming adventure. Color begins to leak back into the movie slowly, with the reintroduction of Russell, followed by the setting change, and perhaps most noticeably, with the cast of supporting characters. Kevin the Bird is the most obvious, being a brilliant array of color and an important part of the movie's main plot. Carl sees Kevin, Russell, and the rest of the colorful cast as obstacles to overcome, something to fight against in his quest to float his house to the waterfall. The story is being pushed forward by color, a trend that is especially true for Carl's personal journey. At the end of the second act, Carl's house is enveloped by a bright orange fire. Scared that he might fail his life's only goal, he lashes out at his companions. As he does, a familiar light begins to dawn. For the first time in almost an hour of screen time, Ellie Magenta appears. Its inclusion here is intentional and extremely powerful. Rather than cast him in a warm, loving glow like in the hospital, the light covers him in harsh shadows, giving an ominous tone. The magenta motif is being flipped on its head. Something that represented the pure, good love in Carl's life now represents his obsession. This scene is the start of a turn in Carl. He gets what he wants, but he's still missing what he needs. The color Russell brought to the journey is still missing. Upon realizing this, he sacrifices everything, including his house, childhood hero, and life's goal, in order to reunite with the young scout. Carl's journey is complete. In the final shot of the film, Carl's house is revealed to be resting on top of the falls. A very faint glow of Ellie Magenta lingers in the air, symbolizing that she will always be with him, and the love they have for each other is eternal. From the emotional and tragic opening, through the adventure, and finally with Carl's personal growth, color was always an important factor that helped the audience connect with the film and characters on a deeper level.